As I'm sure many of you are aware by now, YouTube has decided to improve their website by adding new restrictions in order to support the US 2020 election. This magic election so far is obviously one YouTube has decided to support because it was the greatest election of all time. Obviously, I have some fairly strong opinions about this. You know, this is a change that will affect content creators all across the board. Oh wait, no, it actually won't. It'll only affect those who disagree with the YouTube higher-ups. Those who have a differing point of view. It's sort of weird. I believe that as Section 230 states, YouTube's not able to, or not supposed to be able to implement anything that would sort of make them more of a publisher rather than just like the website that allows users to post videos to it. But as the way of the tech conglomerate goes, they have made changes that only affect those with differing points of view. Sort of reminds me of a certain different country with values that some would consider immoral. I'm not going to say their name though, because to these people, they don't exist. Now, as a content creator, yes, I called myself that even though, I have 550 subs. Trust me, it does not go above my head, but I still like to make content, and I have for a very long time. I just recently started doing actual more political stuff, usually before I had done gaming, and even way back when in my past, I used to do actual like action movie type of stuff. Yes, I know. When I was 13 years old, I guess I'll show you the channel. I already got it pulled up. Carson Eastman, that is my name. The Admiral has been exposed. And this was my channel from back in whatever year ago it was, 9 years ago, when I was but a lad. I did the Minecraft, of course, and I used to do stop motion. So I've been here for a long time, you know. I know my way around the lands. And for them to just spit right in my face, it sort of is something that definitely makes you think differently about the people running the platform. Obviously, I would already think that you would realize that these people, they suck. They love to censor people. They hate people with differing opinions because they believe that they are the big brains in the room. They know what people should be allowed to think. And as someone who has strived, as I said, I like to create content to bring information to people. I like to do stuff that makes people enjoy what they're watching, because that fills me with joy. But as someone who was somewhat on the precipice of actually being able to become a partner, and don't get me wrong, the amount of money I would make from being a partner would be very minute. But that's sort of a threshold to cross that gives you something to be proud of. And yet, now I feel the chances are very slim. I was looking over here before this, I was looking over what it takes to actually be monetized. And what they review on your channel, the main theme, well, that's one strike for me. I don't know. They are not going to like what I'm about. Most viewed videos, so one of those would be a Democratic representative freaking out. That is not sitting well. Newest videos, you know, my newest videos, come on. The classics every time, but I doubt that they will approve. And the biggest proportion of watch time. So obviously a lot of the stuff that I make, some of it can be more conspiratorial. Just depends on what I'm researching for the day, I guess. However, I feel like it is not looking good for the Admiral in getting YouTube's blessing to be monetized. Kind of a tragedy, but it is what it is. I'm going to look through, sort of pick apart what their argument here is for why they feel the need to censor someone, such as the aforementioned government form that we do not speak of on this channel. But before that, real quick, I just wanted to show you guys this. As I've said, it does not go past my peripheral conscience to realize I'm someone with 550 subscribers, so I do not expect anything from it. I just enjoy making content that you guys enjoy. I love reading the comments and you guys telling me that my work is good. Makes me feel good. Makes me feel accomplished for the day. I come home from work and this is what I do. I read articles from places like CNN. Imagine what that does to the psyche. Sometimes I just want to go throw my head through the wall sometimes, but that's for a different day. Maybe I'll record a video of that. I did, however, make a Patreon. I know the banner's not the best. I handmade it, alright? I handmade all this stuff. This is pretty much what I spend my free time doing, besides working. Patreon.com/Admiral Addy. Now, as I said, it's not about making money. I honestly wouldn't expect to receive more than pocket lint within my Patreon. I just figured to plan for the future is the best way to approach life. So this is just for when I undoubtedly am not accepted into the YouTube partnership program, because we all know it's coming. Come on. I made a video about Kemp and his China relationships. That's stuff that pretty much will get you locked in Arkham Asylum of the YouTube headquarters. But now that that's through, I would like to talk about this great 2020 US election that had nothing wrong with it. It was the fairest and most proud the American people have ever been in their government. And it was not at all, not in the slightest bit unfair. Not in the slightest bit. I honestly couldn't think of a better president than Joe Biden to receive 80 million views, lose more counties than Barack Obama by far, but get 12 million more votes. He just must be the greatest president in history. By the way that he didn't campaign, almost pooped himself anytime he was debating someone. You know, just someone proud and dignified as the American patriots would want. But they say here, over the past few weeks and months, we've seen people coming to YouTube to learn more about where and how to vote, or learning more about a candidate or an issue. We've seen news organizations grow their audience, and we've seen people turn to YouTube for the latest election results, or simply to follow an historic event with the highest voting turnout in over a century in the US. Yes, the highest turnout for Joe Biden, because he is the man. So what they're declaring to me here is that, all right, I'll keep reading first. I'll break it down in a second. Stay with me. Our main goal going into the election season was to make sure we're connecting people with authoritative information while also limiting the reach of misinformation and removing harmful content. The work here is ongoing, and we wanted to provide an update. Thank you, YouTube. This is what we needed. I need you to tell me what I should be seeing. You can find conspiracies about the craziest things. Like, just think of the amount of rabbit holes that you've been on when you're searching through YouTube. The stuff that you find, that's what made YouTube great. It was the wild, wild west back in the day. You could find anything. That's what made it grow, and that's what made it popular. But now they're trying to make it seem like little baby kids land for the US election specifically, as if all other conspiracy theories don't matter at all. Yes, of course. I wonder why that may be. I wonder if Joe Biden will somehow help the tech conglomerates while destroying the lower class society. But that's just a conspiracy theory from the Admiral, as always. I'm crazy, guys. Trust me. They say here, removing content that violates our policies. I didn't really think that this part was that important. You know, it says we've terminated over 8,000 channels. Ooh, we get it. They're flexing on us with how many people that you have removed from your website. And I understand some of that is necessary. Some stuff you can find on here can be pretty crazy. But I wonder how many of those channels were actually ones that maybe were just on the border, kind of like my channel, kind of channels that just want to bring information that they find on the internet as that's what they spend all day doing. I spend all day reading news and seeing what different people post, reading both sides. But yet they want to tell you what you can think. What news is important for us to show you. Remember why the name YouTube was created? Because they allowed you to create on their platform as you wished, because you were the one you were the creator. Now we just throw that in the trash now, because YouTube's the creator now. They get to decide what you can watch. What information can you find out today? Let's see what YouTube tells you. This algorithm that we have, this crazy algorithm, it'll tell you what you can learn today. They state here, we also work to make sure that the line between what is removed and what is allowed is drawn in the right place. And the right place is at the intersection where it just cuts everyone off with a different opinion. That's where the right place is, baby. Yeah. The money man, the money shot. Our policies prohibit misleading viewers about where and how to vote. All right. We also disallow content alleging widespread fraud or errors change the outcome of a historical U.S. presidential election. Historical for who? The people who actually got screwed over by these crazy occurrences, these random things, these changes within the Constitution, actually unconstitutionally. They didn't go through proper legislature to put these mandates into place, but yes, that didn't change the outcome of this historical U.S. election. I wonder if one of the candidates would definitely benefit a huge tech conglomerate, and the other one would have actually probably done something to repeal 230 after seeing some garbage like this. They also say, however, in some cases, that has meant allowing controversial views on the outcome of or process of counting votes of a current election, as election officials have worked to finalize counts. Yes. We are the ones who are providing controversial views. These are controversial things. Conspiracy controversial me. I'm just out here in crazy town. It makes no sense. Who are you to decide what a controversial view is? You talking about the controversial view where we literally have that lady? Her and her daughter were the ones setting up the whole thing. One of them was the person who was filling out the ballots. They were supposed to be inputting the ballots. And the other one was the daughter who was actually observing the whole thing. She was the one who was overseeing the entire ballot counting process. So how does that correlate? Those two people are allowed to work in the same vicinity. One of them can fill out the ballots while the other one is supposed to be the person who's checking to see if people are actually doing their work properly. It's almost as if that could easily be exploited and would entirely throw out the election. There are so many things that happen incorrectly in this election, and yet they're here to tell us, yes, these counts have been finalized. This is so true. These things are facts of law now. When that's not even the case at all. I mean, there's still cases in suit towards these states, yet they tell us what to think. They say yesterday was the safe harbor deadline for the U.S. presidential election, and enough states have certified their election results to determine a president-elect. No. The safe harbor deadline, I think Giuliani pointed this out, means nothing. Like, it means something if an election had been done properly, but it's pretty much thrown to the side now, since there are still cases in suit at the moment. Yet, hey, it's a safe harbor deadline. We got our president elected. You guys? Nope. Okay, well, you guys can't talk about it anymore. I don't want to see any videos about it. No controversial stuff here in safe baby land where everyone agrees with each other. No, that's not how the real world works. This is just fake. It's all make pretend. This literally reminds me of something that the country that shall not be named would do. They say, given that we will start removing any piece of content uploaded today that misleads people by alleging that widespread fraud or errors change the outcome of the 2020 U.S. election, our presidential election. What? Like, who are you to determine whether that's a possibility or not? Are you a lawyer? You have no authority to determine whether the widespread fraud could or could not have changed the outcome of the election. And the thing is, I love that they slowly walked it back. Remember at the start, there is no evidence at all whatsoever that widespread fraud occurs, or that any fraud occurs. And then they walked it back. Well, now there's no evidence of widespread fraud. Oop, let's walk that one back just a little bit more. Follow the trail of thought. Now there's no widespread fraud that could have changed the outcome of the election. No evidence of that. We just have video evidence of people actually cheating within the election. But it's not widespread enough. Not enough people were stupid enough to record themselves literally sitting there with the ballots, as one lady was. Oh, well, thanks. I wonder if it happened anywhere else. Oh, I guess I didn't finish this sentence. I'm sorry. They say, change the outcome of the 2020 U.S. presidential election in line with our approach towards historical U.S. presidential elections. Yes, this new line that they have found where it's important to them, the integrity, the U.S. 2020 election, a historical one. Dude, just shut up. I'm so tired of these disgusting people that just lie straight to your face and act like, oh, this was all fair. It was a fair game until now. They say, for example, we will remove videos claiming that a presidential candidate won the election due to widespread software glitches or counting errors. I won't say it didn't happen. How about that? We will begin enforcing the policy today and will ramp up in the weeks to come. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you. As always, news coverage and commentary on these issues can remain on our site if there's sufficient education, documentary, scientific, or artistic context. So then you tell me, who determines whether my video meets this criteria here? Who determines that? We're going to have someone with with brilliant education and documentary, scientific, and artistic integrity looking at my video and just determining whether it's worthy to be worshipped by the YouTube gods, to be approved. Makes no sense. These people, they're just grabbing for power. Man, I hope Trump wins, and I hope that he immediately changes 230 and just crushes these people. They need a serious check of their attitude, because the people who post content like myself literally are the ones who made this company. This company would be nothing without the lowlifes, the bottom feeder conspiracy theorists, as I'm sure that they would declare someone like myself. And yet they no longer care if you're someone whose opinion differs from theirs. That's what YouTube should be about. It should be about having the freedom to express different views than what is popular or what people think is the norm. That's what made it big. That's what people liked about it, is that you'd find weird stuff on here all the time. That's what people come here for. But more and more it just gets corporatized, and they just want to control you and control what you can say and control your life. And man, I don't know. I'm not sure what is the next move from here, but I'm not sure how good it will be. I really can't see it becoming any better. And what happens if Trump somehow changes the election now? What happens to this rule? They'll probably roll it back and, well, actually, you're allowed to talk about this historic 2020 election, but because it was so frauded, like there was so much stuff happening, so crazy stuff, and that'll be their response, and that's all that they need to get people on their side to be like, yeah, that's right, that's the right thing to do. Yeah, just keep on spitting in the face of your content creators, YouTube. We all appreciate it. That'll be it for this one, though. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.